Hi guys, welcome to Foodie Beauty Life. Today I wanted to do sort of a two-in-one video. On the one hand, I want to introduce you to a product which is a limited edition product from a brand that I really like and trust. And at the same time, I'd like to show you just a little technique, for lack of a better word, of how I prep my lips for kind of my nighttime, bedtime skin ritual, specifically for the lip area. So it's kind of a two-in-one. So first I'm going to tell you about the product, and then I'm going to tell you about another product from the same brand that I use to do that little thing, and then we'll do it together. So Fresh is a brand that I really like, and if you shop at Sephora regularly, you're probably familiar with them. They have a lot of great skincare items, but mostly what I love them for is their lip care. I think they're hands down the best lip care out there. And when I say lip care, I don't mean just like that little chapstick that you grab when you're in line at the grocery store or wherever. Chapstick is a fine brand. I have a couple of their things, but to be honest, they're not a brand I've ever gone to because I have very dry lips, and I always have since I was a kid. And I had to really kind of take control of the issue to make sure that anybody talking to me doesn't know that, because when I was a kid, they were pretty dry. I was definitely that kid that would like bite my lips because they were so dry that you just felt like you always wanted to like bite them, and that of course just makes them worse. But when you're a kid, you can't help yourself. When you get a little bit older, you can take control, which I did at a pretty young age, just because it was just that painful, and I just always had that kind of split down the middle, and I always felt like it was bleeding. So at any rate, I come to you as somebody who has really spent a lot of time and energy trying to figure out what the right products are. And when I find something that is like rock star, I definitely want to share it with you. That's what I do on my channel all the time. But this is one that I am particularly excited about. There's a few other products out there that you'll probably see over this next year that I'll share with you that I think are worthy of knowing about. This one, though, is kind of the gold standard. So for me, Fresh is the gold standard for lips. It's a little bit pricey, and to be honest with you, the first time I bought it, it was so painful. Like I'm just gonna straight up say it. Like I'm fine. For some reason, I'm okay spending $20 on a mascara, because over the years, even though everybody and their brother will tell you that you don't need to spend a lot of money on mascara, I believe very strongly that high-end mascara is so much better than drugstore, with one exception. And if you want to see that video, it is linked in the comments below. But I do think that quality matters. And so even though I do indulge in certain drugstore things because they work for me and I don't feel the need to switch them out, I will say that when it comes to skin, I try to make choices that are better quality in that, and this is one of them. So lips, absolutely. I don't buy cheap lip care stuff ever. So the first time was painful, but once I saw what the Fresh lip care stuff did for me, it is no longer painful, and I find that it lasts pretty well if you are kind of thoughtful about using it. So that was just a lot of talk about Fresh in general. This is the item that I want to talk to you about. It is the Fresh. It's from their Sugar line, which is what their lip line is called, and this is the Lemon Hydrating Lip Balm. This might be semi-familiar to you, especially if you're like a Sephora shopper or if you've gone into the Fresh store. They've had a caramel lip balm, I want to say for a year now. It's still a relatively new product, but I want to say it's been out for roughly a year or just under a year. It's wonderful. It is so spot on. It actually looks and smells like caramel. I don't want to say it tastes like caramel necessarily, but their products do have like kind of a sweetness to them, so that I feel like if you ingest them, like you're okay. Like I wouldn't go in with a spoon. I mean, you kind of want to, but I wouldn't go in with a spoon and eat it. But it's one of those products where whereas some things just have this really awful taste, and you almost have like a visceral reaction when you taste them, because you just do. I mean, we all ingest any lip product that we put on. This one, you're not going to have that feeling because it is just wonderful. So the caramel has been around for a while, and it's great. If you go to Sephora, you'll probably notice there's a coconut one as well. Not a huge coconut person, but I actually do like the coconut one. I love the look of it. It's like a pretty white one. The caramel actually is a caramel color. The lemon, which is my favorite and not available at Sephora, I had to get this at the Fresh store, is yellow. It's a very pretty color. I would say it was almost more of a buttercup yellow, and it smells, it's like everything else Fresh does. It is sweet. It has an elegance to it, so it doesn't smell like candies. It has a candy-like flavor, but like something that you would get like at a candy shop versus like something you'd get in the like in the aisle at the grocery store. So there's definitely an elegance. But the nice thing about this lemon is it almost smells like a lemon baked good. So it's not just straight lemon. I'm a huge fan of anything citrus, but I'm also very picky because I find that a lot of citrus things, especially lemon, will smell like your dishwashing soap or your dishwashing detergent or something that you use to clean your house, and I can't stand that. And I appreciate that those brands are trying to make it more pleasant for us by making it smell like lemon, but what happens is it kind of throws your whole like scent, your, I don't know, that thing that you judge scents on kind of gets thrown because now you smell so many bad lemon things that smell like lemon and some sort of chemical that I find that I'm a little bit hesitant about lemons in general, even though it's one of my favorite scents. So I tend to lean more towards orange or grapefruit or lime, something that I don't associate with products. This lemon is so well done. I can't even begin to tell you. You will never, never confuse this for any sort of detergent smell. You just won't. It smells like a baked good. It has the lemon, it's very genuine, almost like more of a Meyer lemon, like a sweet lemon. But it has a little bit of, I don't know if it's like a sweet vanilla crust or a meringue, but it has some other little note in there with it. Um, I've seen people do that before where they'll have like a lemon meringue candle or whatever, and I always feel like the meringue or the crust smell always overwhelms lemon. This one doesn't. This is, you're gonna smell something lemony with that other subtle note that makes it feel more like a baked good, rather than, like I said, one of those horrible lemon smells that we always get. So amazing, amazing, amazing. Limited edition, only available at the Fresh store. It might be available other places, like other makeup places, but I know Sephora doesn't carry it. So if you're going to look for it there, you're not going to find it. So I would say just go to fresh.com or a Fresh store if you have one near you, and that way you can smell it. Side note, they also have a peach one, which I think is nice. They have a, let's see, the coconut one's good. There's a caramel one. The lemon one's phenomenal. Chocolate. Chocolate, I am not a fan of chocolate scented things. I don't want to put chocolate scented things on my body. I could smell like fruit all day long or candy or cake. Chocolate I'm weird about, but their chocolate lip balm is, again, spot on. It smells like legit good quality chocolate. And since it's a product that goes on your lips, I actually would buy that one. So if you're a huge chocolate person, or if you like sort of those cocoa butter type of smells, or like if you love those palettes from Too Faced that smell like chocolate, you need to smell this because this is like on another level. So they do scent better than anybody, especially in their lip stuff. So now we're going to go into what my little ritual is at night. So I'm going to start by removing my lipstick. I know you can't really see it that great on this camera, but I am wearing a Huda Beauty lipstick and lip liner, which if you saw it in person, it pops quite nicely, but it's still kind of a natural look. So hence why you can't see it. There's also a whole lot of pink and red going on behind me, so that's probably why too. So at the end of the day, I do this as part of my entire ritual. So I will take off my makeup. I double cleanse, huge fan of double cleansing. I feel like if you don't double cleanse, you're not actually clean. Double cleansing means if you're wearing makeup, you remove the makeup first, even if you're not wearing makeup. I still like to use like a micellar water like I just used. I love this one. Just to take off the day, because you will notice that your cotton pad is going to be dirty even if you're not wearing makeup, because your skin just picks up all kinds of things throughout the day. So clean that off. That way when you go in with your cleanser, it actually has a chance to cleanse. And then I do whatever my ritual is, and I'll be sharing videos about that over the next, few months, weeks, years. The next thing I do is I like to go in with the Fresh Lip Scrub. So like I said, huge fan of this brand, and I like their lip care stuff over everybody else's, so I use it. The one that you're looking at right now, it looks quite small. It's smaller than what you would buy if you went to Fresh, Sephora, or wherever they sell this stuff. I love this brand, and I said it was kind of painful to pay for. So the way I get around it, or at least the way I used to before I became totally obsessed and realized it was worth my money, is I wait till the holidays and I get those sets. So the sets will have like a lip scrub, a lip this, a lip that, and like, 5 things. And they're definitely marked down, so you're getting a huge value. So more often than not, I'll get those, which is how I end up with so many of these little things. And I will tell you, I've had this little thing forever. I use like the littlest bit. You do not need a lot. Your lips are not that big of a surface, and you're not trying to scrub them, to hell and back. You just want a light little exfoliation to make sure that that skin is like nice and fresh, so that when you put in your product, it can like seep right in and actually moisturize. Same as when you exfoliate your skin, whether you're using a physical exfoliant, a chemical, whatever you're using, you just want to be gentle with your skin. The point is not to rip your skin off. It is to help it along. So I just use a teeny bit, and I just go in and I'm going to kind of stop talking in a second so I can actually do this. But I just go in and very lightly go in like this. Now, this, I find this works really well. It smells so good and you kind of want to eat it, but don't. I mean, you probably could, but don't, because then you won't be able to exfoliate your lips. But I do think that if you feel, especially if you're new to lip exfoliation, which I'm not, you might just want to maybe even use some of your balm with it if you feel like you need that little bit of a slip to help it move. But I'm usually good because I've been doing this lip ritual forever. My lips are very kind of moist, and even when I remove everything, they're still good. So I'm okay to do this. Isn't it funny how I can have an entire conversation while I'm exfoliating my lips? It's kind of scary. You'll note that I'm using my middle finger. You can use whichever finger you want, but as a general rule, when I'm doing things on my face, I try to use my ring finger because it's the weakest. I feel like some people will say your middle finger is your weakest and this is your strongest. On my hand, it's actually probably one of my stronger ones, but I just know not to like go too intensely on my eye area or my lip area. So very gently, you don't have to spend too long. You can't even see the product because I use so little of it. In fact, half of it's still on my finger. And then if I'm about to wash my face, which is what I'm usually doing at night, I just go in and kind of just wash it off and just make sure the little grains, because it's basically little sugar grains, just make sure that they're gone. But since I'm doing it here with you, I'm just going to use a little bit more of that micellar water or micellar water, or however you pronounce it. It's wonderful. I think it's like the greatest thing to happen to makeup removal in a long time. And I'm just going to go in and gently, very gently remove it because you're not trying to exfoliate again. You're trying to shake off the exfoliation. And sometimes I end up leaving a little grain. It's not the worst thing in the world, but try to get it all off. I will say if you are a fan of Fresh's products, they have like a rose, I want to say it's a facial water, facial toner. It will be listed in the box below. You can use that on a cotton pad and remove as well. That can be used in place of water. I don't think there's any reason you can't use on your lips, but I think rinse with water, or I just happen to be using the micellar water today. It probably removes some of the benefits of the lip sugar, so if you just want to go in with a wet washcloth, you could do that. But like I said, if you're traveling or whatever, just do that. It's fine. No one ever died doing that. And now I'm going to go in and grab this. Take a minute to smell it because it's so good, and just go in. Now, again, I can talk while I'm putting stuff on my lips. It's kind of scary, isn't it? If I was just using it as a balm, I would just use whatever's comfortable. I would use a little bit if I'm putting an under lip product so the lip products can stay. If I'm using this balm, I can go in as heavy as I want. As a night mask, I kind of go in and give it an extra little layer because I want it to be there for as long as it can so it can do as much as it can. Because I'm using it as a mask. And when you're putting it on as a balm, you want it to stay on too, but especially when you want it as a mask. So, I'm not using a ton of product, but I am going in and kind of on the inside a little bit, because that's where it kind of gets dry too. And just to make sure you get it really good. The nice thing about this is it's right under your nose, so you can smell the amazing smell, so it's a bit of an aromatherapy thing too. I like to choose products, especially at night, that really smell good to me, that are very pleasant. And lemon is not necessarily something that makes you go to sleep. That usually you think of like lavender. But for me, it evokes all pleasant things. So it is a favorite of mine. So anyhow, you put it on. You do, the rest of your ritual. I would probably do my lips last if I was doing everything, or maybe I would do my eyes last. But basically, face, eyes, lips. You go to bed, and when you wake up in the morning, your lips feel really nice. They're hydrated. They've gotten a little extra masking. And then you can go in with some more of the lip balm, or you can use another item. Like I said, I usually use the fresh stuff, but there's a couple of other things that I like as well. If you want to hear about those things, please stay tuned. So that was my video. I hope you enjoyed it. As you can tell, totally passionate about this. This is my absolute favorite lip product of all time, and that scrub is my absolute favorite scrub of all time. In case you were wondering, this video is not sponsored. None of my videos are. If they ever start to be, I will let you know, but this was not a sponsored video. This is just something that I feel that is a really fantastic product that I use that I thought you might want to know about. If you want to hear about other items that are pretty fantastic or taste really amazing, please subscribe to my channel. It is called Foodie Beauty Life, and you subscribe to it by clicking on the subscribe button below this video player. And you also just want to hit that notification bell because that will actually let you know when a video has come up. Speaking of videos, I have well over 50 of them. They are mostly about food and beauty, but sometimes you get some other topics like travel or organization. So definitely come stay tuned and spend some time with me. I hope you have a great day, and I hope I get to spend time with you again soon. Take care.